$300,000. In Austin, that's gonna get you a condo with the parking spot. In Dallas, maybe a townhouse if you're lucky, but in Waco, well, let me show you what $300,000 actually gets you, because I think you're gonna be pretty surprised when you see it. So I've hand selected 5 homes that are currently available on the market as of the time of this recording. Not to say they will be by the time you're watching it, but nonetheless, this is to educate you and give you a sense of what options you're gonna have locally if you're looking at homes for in the near future here. So these listings are currently listed by Haus Realty Group, Kelly Realtors, and Crossroads Realty, between the 5 of these. So starting off, we're gonna head to China Spring here and look at one of the homes currently on the market over on Canadian Drive. So you got a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,815 square foot, 2023 build on 0.2 acre. And you'll notice you've got a good contrast of colors, lots of light, and overall open floor plan. Reasonably sized yard. Looks like it has solid curb appeal. And I'm gonna get to a breakdown of the costs and what to expect with that here shortly. But to give you an idea of the location, I mean, China Spring is a growing area. There's a ton of development, especially with new construction. You'll see some commercial buildings going up as well. It's super close to the Waco Regional Airport, which is where you're gonna wanna fly in and out if you're connecting to Dallas or any other major airports. And then also, obviously, you got Lake Waco right here, pretty big. Not far from that. And the nice thing about Waco in general, if you're not already familiar with the area here, is it's pretty easy to get around from one place to another across town. So whether you're in China Spring or closer to Woodway here, I mean, generally speaking, within 15 minutes, you can just get just about anywhere in and around town. But next up on the list, we're gonna look at one more home currently offered in the China Spring area on Beacon Falls. Now this home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,637 square feet. And with this one, you're gonna get no HOA, which is a nice perk. I mean, depending on what you're looking for, I hear it from a lot of people that they don't want HOAs. The reason why, I'm not sure. Some people have a good reason why, others, it's kind of more of a stigma, but honestly, that stigma can go either way. I'm gonna dive more into that in a future video. But overall, what you get here is you get a different color scheme and contrast. This one's also got a nice appeal. I mean, you can see some good natural light shining in through the main living area. Same thing with the bedroom. You got a couple windows there. Overall, I want to hear in the comments, what do you think for the value compared to what market you're moving from or where you're living now or where you've lived previously? Do you feel like your dollars are going far from what you're seeing so far here, or not so much? I'd like to hear. But you get a covered patio here and nothing immediately behind at this point. So there you have it. Beacon Falls, also in the China Spring area. So next up on the list, we're gonna head down to the Hewitt area and check out a home that's 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,700 square foot on Risinger Road out in Park Meadows, which, I mean, if you look at the map, you're gonna see that it's pretty much between Hewitt and Lorena. I mean, you got Hewitt, Lorena, Woodway, all those areas are very popular, especially Lorena. You know, that one, they're just kind of starting to develop more so than these. Woodway is very established. Hewitt has had a ton of growth over the last few years, and it's continuing to grow now. In fact, Park Meadow is one of the hottest neighborhoods, especially around this price point, that you're gonna see the most sales activity in within the past year. But this home specifically, 2020 build, 3-bed, 2-bath. Looks like you got nice curb appeal as you would anticipate. And you got a warm contrast of colors, off-white walls, modern looking kitchen, darker floors. What do you think of this color combo? And oh yeah, you got the fireplace. Not every home at this price is gonna have one, but some people love it. Others don't care as much. And yeah, overall solid for the price. Again, this video is to give you an expectation of what you can expect, teach you a little bit about the areas, especially if you're trying to learn more about it and where to look. I would definitely have this area as one of the top on my list if I were moving and wanted to be in the 300K price range. There's gonna be a ton of options, great location, great schools, close by to most everything you need. Generally speaking, Waco is super easy to navigate. Next up on the list, we're gonna check out a home out over in Robinson. So kind of the other side of the interstate. It's also an area that has a ton of options, kind of a variety of homes that are newly developed, some that are older, some are on more land. This one though is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1656 square feet. And they say it's got 12-foot ceilings in the living area. And this is a 2004. So it's the oldest home on the list we're looking at. By no means is it the oldest in the area though. Homes do get quite a bit older. But just to give you some contrast, this home is a nice option though. You got more of a premium feel and quality. Just the difference is you can see the different styling from a different era, but some people will prefer that. Some people will prefer the character. Others would prefer to have something brand new. But larger windows in the primary suite here, and you got a nice driveway, kind of a different style than the other ones. But let me know your thoughts. Would you prefer something like this or something newer if you are searching? And to see it on a map, it's going to be over here. So Robinson is, it's this whole side of things over here. Very big area, lots of different options you're going to find out that way. And then last, but certainly not least, we've got a home on Los Arboles Lane. And this is going to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1527 square feet. And it's a 2022 build. So check it out. Got the floor plan there. What do you think of this though? Kind of a different look and style, and that's part of why I select these different options. None of them were exactly the same. Variety of locations for the most part. A little different sense of style. This one's got a more updated look to the kitchen and style in general. That's what you're going to see in a lot of homes. You're going to see, the quartz countertop with the white cabinetry and walls. That style is very much in right now. In fact, I would say this has darker flooring than you're going to see in most homes that have that more up-to-date style. Got a little bit more mature looking trees than you usually see in the newly developed areas. And this one, you got a pretty interesting location because you're right here off of New Road and I-35, so super close to the highway, depending on where you need to be. You're going to have easy access to a lot of things, including Baylor University, which is just down the road. But you're a lot more closer to downtown Waco than these growing areas we looked at, because the Hewitt area is growing a ton. Anything out that way, anything out China Spring, this one's going to be closer into town. So given that breakdown, let's go ahead and look at the monthly payments. So you saw these homes, they're all very similarly priced. $290 to $299, right? So what can you expect for payments? Well, let's go back here at the $289.9 and look at what the breakdown says. So cost breakdown, and this is taking into consideration a 20% down payment with the 6.65 interest rate. Now you might be able to get a better rate depending on the timing of this video. If you want to explore that, get with me. I'll connect you with a lender that can help you assess that. This is going to input a property tax rate. Now I want to see what it actually is, because this is an important thing. We're at a 2.2, just over 2.2%. So I'm actually going to take that and put it in the calculator to give something more accurate. But this is before any tax savings that you might have. You're going to have a homestead exemption if it's your homestead. You're going to have potentially other exemptions depending on what you qualify for, if you're a veteran, if you're a senior citizen, et cetera, et cetera. But, this is just looking at the full home value. So just know assessed value is going to be lower depending on those things. Home insurance, HOA. And so ultimately $2,143 a month with 20% down. If you went with FHA or a lower down payment option, your payment's going to be higher. You're going to also have mortgage insurance. So if you're like FHA 3.5% down with mortgage insurance, which that's not even on the calculator here, but that would add some. But just we're going to use 20% for the assumptions. And if you want an exact calculation of what that would look like for you based on your specific situation, connect with me and I'll connect you with my go-to loan originator. And then let's look at one more. This example right here, you got a breakdown of that's your down payment, you're financing the rest. Property taxes, this one says it's a little bit lower rate. But at the end of the day, that's what to expect. So principal interest, 1536, property taxes without any exemptions, any homestead or anything this high, could be potentially quite a bit less with those exemptions. No HOA fees here. And then boom, that's what to expect. So for $300,000, this is what you can get in Waco, Texas. And I want to know, are your dollars going as far as you would have expected or not so much? Maybe they're going so far that you could actually look at more options at a higher price point. Generally for the Waco market, this is going to be above the typical price point, believe it or not. If you look at where the median price point is in our market, 300,000 is a bit higher. But that being said, there are quite a lot of options in the 250 to 300 range, which is a great range to be in for a starter home, or if you want something that's going to have just a lower payment in general. If you have more wiggle room to look at a higher purchase price, you're going to have a lot more options in the 300 to 400 range. And if you want something premium, there's going to be a ton of options in the 400 to 600 range. And then probably needless to say, you can go pretty well above that depending on what kind of budget and lifestyle you're living. But I hope this insight helps. If you want me to handpick a few homes for you that are more specific to your price range and your exact criterion, if you want my honest take on each one, that's literally what I do every single week for people I'm connecting with in the Waco area. So if you drop your budget in the comments, or better yet, reach out to me. If you really want a breakdown, reach out to me, send me a text or an email. I'll have my contact information below, and I'll put a custom list together for you if you ask me for it. And just give me some insight on exactly what you're looking for. We can hop on a brief call as well to just get some more insight and context on your situation. But I'm happy to put that together for you and share my insights and experience from actually living in the area, actually having gone through this process myself a year and a half ago of exploring and relocating to the area. And that's backed by my past 10 years of experience in real estate, helping people navigate it, both buying, selling, relocating, investing, and everything else. So I hope this video helped to teach you a little bit about the area. You're gonna wanna stay tuned because I'm gonna have a lot more videos coming down the pipeline to just teach you the ins and outs. That way you're prepared to navigate the Waco market when it's time to seize that opportunity and get your move on. But thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.